Guys, welcome to the kitchen. Welcome to the kitchen. Here I am, guys. I'm doing stuff without you. I mixed up some paint and I started without you. I actually didn't. I videoed this tile and it was absolutely horrible. So I shut you guys off and we're going to start again. All right. So happy Mother's Day to everybody. Happy Mother's Day to all the new moms and us experienced moms. And yeah, you guys are awesome. We're all awesome. We deserve a day to ourselves being a mother. We really do. So I chose my colors today kind of based on my mom's color palette, which really worked out in my favor because it's the same as mine. Mine is the same as hers, which is I kind of find quite amusing because when I was growing up, my mother always wore these kind of swampy, earthy colors, you know, mud brown and moss green and mustard yellow. And I always just kind of shuddered. And you know how when you're a kid, you're almost embarrassed. You know, my mom was kind of this, when I think about it now, she was actually this, well, is, but then too, she was kind of this really upbeat, funky, I don't know, kind of a modern hippie kind of mom. But when you're a teenager, it doesn't matter how cool they think they are. They're not cool in a teenager's mind. So my mom always wore really earthy colors, and I never, ever liked them. I never liked them. And strangely enough, the older I get, guess whose colors are my colors? Yeah, I've turned into my mother in more ways than one. Not only do the colors that I wear are her colors, but my thoughts and my ideals and my parenting styles are all my mom too. You know, which we all know we turn into our mothers. Hate to say that, but we do. Okay, I can remember being a young woman and thinking that I was just going to be the coolest mom. When it came time to have my children, I was going to be super cool and I wasn't going to put restrictions and boundaries on them. And I was just going to let them blaze their own trail and become the people that they were meant to be. And yeah, that didn't happen. Did not happen at all. I still am. You know, my daughter grew up with boundaries and restrictions, and she knew that there were consequences for her behaviors, and they weren't always nice consequences, but consequences aren't always good. You know, you choose the behavior and you pay the price. And it's just kind of funny because like I said, those were things that I thought, oh no, I'm just going to be super cool and chill. And yeah, not cool, not chill. Not at all. So thank you, Mom, for grounding me and being my best friend and supporting me in all of my wacky decisions. She's always kind of been my rock. You know, she's given me the grounding to be able to make good decisions on my own. And that's kind of what she's always said, is that, you know, she'll support me in any decision that I make, and that she has faith that I'll make the decision that's right for me. And so thank you to my mom for giving me that gift. It's been super valuable. Super valuable. And I think I in turn probably have given that to my daughter. She's pretty strong-willed. She knows what she wants and doesn't want. Yeah. So cheers. Cheers to us ladies. Okay, let's try to spin this without knocking it off the little bottle top. Gently spin today, you guys. Gently spin the other way. So last night actually, I was reviewing some videos on YouTube, and I had a couple questions questioning, you know, the flood, question mark. And I thought, I thought it was pretty self-explanatory until I realized that you guys don't have a clue what I'm talking about, because yesterday's video conversation was kind of a continuation of the video from maybe the day before, but the pour before, and I didn't post it because when I reviewed it, not even thinking about the content of the chattering, when I reviewed it, the picture sucked and the video was in and out of focus, so I didn't post it. So yesterday when I was nattering on about my flood and everybody's confused, you guys aren't confused, I am. You guys are spot on. I'm the one that's lost in space, you guys. So I'll back the story up about my flood story. Last year in February, Greater Victoria and Up Island and mainland Vancouver experienced the heaviest rainfalls we've had on record in something like 51 years. Just huge amounts of rain, and many people experienced terrible flooding, property damage, home damage. Yeah, it was awful. And I was one of those people. We had 4 houses on our street that flooded. Mine was one of them. And so I called my insurance company, of course, immediately. And because there was such extreme flooding everywhere, the restoration companies were anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks before they could get to my home because I was the 150th call on their list. So I bought some dehumidifiers to put downstairs and a huge commercial fan. And I tore out all of my carpeting and my flooring by myself because I didn't want to be sitting in the home with standing water in the basement. And I was really just trying to be sort of super proactive, which was the right thing to do to combat the water issue. But it's not the right thing to do with insurance people because they want to see all the damages, and it makes sense. But anyway, I did what I did because, like I said, I wasn't going to sit in standing water. And it was a super hard time for me and my family. I had a long-term tenant with me in the basement that was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and she was passing away. And when I look back at now, I think that she really wanted to pass away in her suite, which I'm very fortunate never happened. But I think that's what she wanted. I don't think that she wanted her family to be present, and I think she just wanted to go quietly. Anyway, I had to try to get her encouraged to move along and go somewhere else. I didn't want her downstairs in the situation. So blah, blah, blah. That all happened. My tenant left. The restoration crew came about a month later, and they determined, yes, there had been massive flooding and the drywall needed to be removed and there was going to be a complete remediation done. And I was very fortunate because I have water and flood insurance on my house. And so my insurance covered it, which is great. Okay, I have to stop my story just for 2 seconds. I'm going to stop this piece here and I'm going to, what am I going to do, you guys? I'm going to just maybe move it over to this corner of my table, which you can't see. I'm pretty happy with that. It's super simple, more paint than what I should have had on. And I'm going to maybe paint something else, but let's just move this quickly to the safe zone. To the safe zone. There we go. Give my hands a quick swish, grab another tile, and carry on with my story. So the remediation came, they ripped out all my drywall, they fixed my home, and then my daughter, it only kind of seemed fitting that my daughter and her boyfriend, my pregnant daughter, and her boyfriend and their teenage son move into the basement suite, which is exactly what we did. So we got them all moved in and settled, and I've gone from one tenant to having 3 adults and a baby in a relatively small square footage. And of course, they like their privacy, so their bedroom doors are always closed. And we started noticing condensation, not condensation, but mold on the wall. And I thought it was kind of odd, but we just basically kind of wrote it off to the fact that there was a fair amount of people. Paint's great, guys. And so my daughter and I washed all the walls down multiple times, bleached them all, got them all back to clean. I thought that the old aluminum frame windows might be part of the problem. So I swapped out the windows to, you know, a couple $1,000 bill, put all new windows in downstairs, thinking that that was going to help. And she was still having mold issues on walls and condensation. And I bought dehumidifiers, put them in place, told them to keep them running, and the problem consisted. So last week, my daughter came upstairs and said, Mom, you got to come down and see the wall. So we went down, and behind her Chesterfield, the entire wall was covered in mold. The floor was covered in mold, and it was quite apparent that there's water coming in. So I called the insurance company, and of course, now I'm going to have a battle on my hands because the restoration company, swipe guys, I feel the restoration company dropped the ball because they fixed the house, but they never looked really to see what caused the flood. They just said it was groundwater. They didn't analyze anything or check anything. They just repaired the damages, which was awesome. But it's like getting a flat tire on your car and you just continuously put air in it and you never stop to look, why is it leaking? So I don't know what's going to happen at this point. But I talked to a plumber yesterday. I think we're just going to stretch. And the recommendation from the plumber is that my house is 100 years old. The perimeter drains are the old tiles. There's newer perimeter drains on one side only. So of course their recommendation is that we tear out everything and put in brand new perimeter drains, repair any cracks that there are in the foundation, and then we're basically back to a house with new foundation, which sounds like a wonderful idea, except my cost factor is going to be somewhere probably between $20,000 to $50,000. That's not including redoing my driveways or my sidewalks. That's no concrete work. That's just putting in the basic perimeter drain system. And I don't know if the insurance company is willing to meet me somewhere in the middle and repair my drywall, because all my drywall downstairs all has to be torn out again, which leaves my daughter and grandbaby and boyfriend and their teenage son with virtually no place to live while this remediation is going on yet again. So it's been a few days of lots of tears, and yeah, it hasn't been really a lot of fun. And the remediation company that my insurance people hired were really, really difficult to deal with. They had some challenges with communication. You know, we are in a pandemic, so it was kind of important to try to keep the trades separate at that time. No one was vaccinated. And so I had booked sub trades to come in and do like upgrades while the house was ripped apart. And I would hire an electrician to come in on a Tuesday, knowing that he had 3 days to get his part of the job done. And then the restoration company would show up the same day and kind of look at me because why is that guy here? And I'm saying, well, why are you here? Like, you're supposed to be here Tuesday and it's Thursday. And yeah, it was awful. And I'm not looking forward to dealing with them again. But until we figure out whether they have any accountability in this damage, I have to deal with them. So that's where I'm at. That's why I'm a grumpy bear. And I was having some issues around painting. Still having issues around painting because I don't like anything right now. And I think it's because my head's not really in the game. I'm not totally thrilled with this. There's parts of it I really like and parts of it I don't like. So I think, you guys, I think we're just going to keep stretching this. Maybe we'll wind up doing a minimalistic overstretched bloom swipe pour. Maybe, you never know. Sometimes when you just keep stretching, cool things happen. I've definitely stretched pieces that I didn't care for and come out with something that I was super happy with. You all know I like stranger compositions that are slightly different. I'm just going to keep going. I'd like to get some of the concentration out of the top because it's so soft and delicate on the bottom, and then it's pretty bold on the top. So let's kind of try to get this top maybe somewhere in the middle. See if that changes the situation at all. Or we could take some of this heavy blue out of there. Maybe we should do that, guys. Let me find a spatula or something. Can't find anything this morning in my kitchen. All right, let's take some of this concentrated turquoise blue out of here. Look at that. It's actually looking better already. I'm going to take a little more out. It's my handy painting tool, guys. A metal putty knife. Okay, let's take this and stretch this back out and see if that changes things a little bit. I'm going to take a little venture out to my mom's house to stop maybe this afternoon or this morning for a cup of coffee and wish her a happy Mother's Day. And the last couple of years, well, I didn't do it last year because of COVID, but in the years previous, I've had a Mother's Day prawn brunch. And I wind up going and buying like 4 or 5 pounds of prawns. And we've just cooked up all these prawns and just had this big, yummy sort of a pig out. So I think I'm going to do that again this year. Last year I couldn't do it because prawn season was really, really limited because of I think it was like the overseas market. They send so much to Japan, and I guess because of COVID they couldn't do it, and I can't really remember what the issue was, but I know we didn't get prawns. Now I'm just farting around, you guys. I'm not doing anything practical. Moving paint, that's all I'm doing. It's so sticky on the corner. All right, guys. Well, I'm not totally, oh my goodness, look at that. It's okay, but it's just okay. And I don't have any base paint mixed up. So I think I will maybe mix up some base paint. And I'm going to leave you guys here because I don't want to start this video all over again. I'll bring you down for a little bit of a closer look and show you. It's pretty simple, but it's pretty fun too. So here's our first piece that we did. And the orange is in my mama's color, so I'm going to move that because I can already see that it's starting to tilt and shift on my lopsided table. And here is this little one that we just did, and I'm pretty sure that we'll pour over this. But because I went on such a long rambling spiel on my Tales of Woe, I don't want to start all over again and not post this video because then you'll be confused even further. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to thank everybody for joining me in the kitchen this morning. Happy Mother's Day to all our moms out there. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me and supporting me. You guys are all awesome. Awesome, awesome. Bye for now, folks.